Hey everybody, chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is the episode of 1804 History. And before I start this video, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button and hit that bell for more videos to come. You know what? I really wanted to do this episode because of the fact that a lot of people don't know about this movie. Well, The Birth of a Nation, that was in theaters in 1915. February 8th of 1915 to be exact. And it pretty much shifted the entire United States if we think in racism. And I just hate this movie with a passion. This movie caused a lot of terror in the African American communities all across the country. And I always just despise this movie because not only that it's fucking boring, but it's stupid. And it just really shows the intelligence of the American white man during this time. Just the Caucasian population altogether. Because this movie was to spread race propaganda. Pretty much depicting black men of being criminals, being drunks, being rapists, being murderers. And I hated it. I hated it with a passion. I couldn't get past 1 hour because I hated the movie so much. But basically, this movie generated the rebirth for the Ku Klux Klan, which was on a 50-year hiatus at the time. Because a lot of people don't know that the Democratic Party was the ones who created the Ku Klux Klan. Because of the fact that they was afraid of us rising up from slavery and this and that. They was afraid of us taking over the entire country because we was able to vote. We was able to become state legislatures and shit, lawmen and sheriffs, and we was able to purchase land at that time. So they was afraid of us being powerful, afraid of us taking over their establishments and their corporations and stuff like that. So they created the Klan to basically intimidate us, and which they did. They intimidated us and murdered us, and this movie right here really was just a eyesore. And it's pretty much a silent movie, you know. You really can't hear their voices like that. And it's just so funny how silent movies was a trend. It was one of those blockbusters events. And this movie was shown to 50,000 people around that time. And shown to the White House. Woodrow Wilson actually showed this crazy movie in the White House when he was the active president of the United States of America. And this created a whole bunch of propaganda. And this movie was believable back in the 1915s. This movie was depicted as one of those things. What's up, bro? I miss you too, man. Thanks, Todd. That's my boy, Todd. But yeah, this movie was just like one of those things that really was an insult, really helped spread hatred all across the country. And it was based on a play and a novel, The Klansman, by Thomas Dixon Jr. Wow. So it's just crazy how just watching this movie as a African American male, I would say that it sucks. I don't know why it was believable, but it sucks. But it was just the aftermath, because that created a whole bunch of Klan all across the north, south of America, and people believed this. And it was made off a $100,000 budget, and it reached $50 to $100 million at the box office. So not only that he ate good off it, but his future descendants, his future generations ate off this movie. They called this the most controversial film of all time. But it's just crazy, because when you sit back and really think about this type of stuff, like Nate Parker got backlash from his film by the same name, by the same title. And they got away with showing just graphic images. And this is the 1915. This is the first century. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty much like before the Great Depression, when it was like really poor and really like crazy around that time. But like 100 years later, you got people afraid of this Nat Turner movie coming out, and people got afraid of us rising up and rioting and stuff like that. And me personally, I was grateful for Mr. Nate Parker. I had a chance to talk to him a couple times off Instagram. He's a great guy. He's cool. He's down to earth. Even though he's been in Hollywood movies, he ain't no Hollywood snob. Like, he would talk to you and everything. But I was just really happy that he made this film, and he made the sacrifice of his career, because I feel like it was unfair how they treated him. I feel like it was unbiased to go aside with the alleged victim. You know, they had to really like find something on him from his past and for his music and his movie to get like blacklisted. It was just to the point that they made that movie so cruel and so evil when it wasn't. It wasn't so bad, you know. I can watch Birth of a Nation. I can watch that compared to Roots, and then compared to Rosewood, I can watch The Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation showed Nat Turner and his friends and everything like that created the 60-hour rebellion and killed a lot of people in Southampton County and got captured, and he got hung. But the difference with that and from this was that it was highly acclaimed. You know, this was considered the most brilliant film of all time. The 1915 film was considered one of the greatest masterpieces caught on camera, caught on film. But you got white men dressed up in blackface acting like they black men. And they going around terrorizing white women, trying to kill white women, and the Klan considered as the victor. While Nate Parker's movie, story about slavery, story about a man who refused to be used as a pawn. You know, they used to use religion to terrorize and scare slaves. And that's why, like, when it comes to certain things and certain dominations, I don't really get involved. But I respect what you believe, you know. I respect your principles. And my thing with religion is that whatever is helping you become a better person, I'm all for it. It's those who use religion for evil, and the ones who use religion to manipulate, to conquer, seek, and destroy. Because Satan goes to church too. You know, I just always explain to people that the Bible talks about the synagogues of Satan, talk about false prophets and stuff like that. And people just think that Christianity is always good, but sometimes it's not. You know, all depends on who's spreading the word, who's spreading the message, and who's living our life. Everybody isn't living that life. Everybody is not going to heaven. And the ones that you think that's going to hell are the ones that's not going to hell. Because there's a lot of people who claim in heaven and ain't going to heaven. This life and this world is their heaven. When they die, they going to hell. But enough of that. But I feel like both movies told a tale. They told a story. And they basically, I feel, had a strong message. Hold on. But yeah, I just feel like both movies told a good message. The first movie was ignorance, and the second movie was standing up for yourself, standing up for what you believe in, and being faithful to the word of God. Because The Birth of a Nation, the second one, is really about getting closer to God and liberating others from bondage. You know, I respect that. I respect that at first he had to go through Sundance, which was one of the biggest movies that ever hit Sundance. You know, he had to be an independent film because he couldn't get the Hollywood execs to give him a budget. So he made it on his own and sold the movie to 20th Century Fox for, I think, $13.9 million. So it wasn't a threat until he sold it to Fox. And when he sold it to Fox, that's when all the hell broke loose. That's when his case came up from 2002 to, or something like that. Yeah, 2002, 2003. I think that's when his case came up. And a lot of people, you know, turned their backs on him and criticized him, threw him under the bus because he's not married to a black woman and stuff like that. But to me, I feel like we need to stop that. We need to really understand, like, everybody don't care about the struggle. Everybody don't care about going against the establishment, going against white supremacy. And he really showcased the betterment of our people through this movie, I believe. And it was just unfair how it failed at the box office. But I had bought the DVD. I got the movie poster at the crib. So I represent that movie. Because to me, that movie gives me strength. It gives me faith. And you got to have faith in these times that we living in. And But D.W. Griffith's movie was picketed so quick by the NAACP, and other black activists were trying to get it to shut down. They were trying to destroy it, but they was unsuccessful. But that movie really shown how cruel America is, you know. And I love America because I am an American. But this movie really just showed you the mental place of how they really view black men and just black people in general. Like, and I never really understood that, but I feel like, you know, somebody got to shift the blame. Somebody got to point the finger. So I just don't really appreciate just how Nate Parker can get thrown under the bus and vilified, but not D.W. Griffith. He's considered as the greatest director of all time. You know, but like I said, it's just double standards, man. But yeah, I would end this video on that note. Make sure you like this video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the 1804 Show Chapter 2, and I'm out. Peace.